Hello everybody and welcome to the ReactOS community YouTube channel. A request we get very often is to try out some of these games and applications on physical hardware. For these videos we often use VMware Workstation Player or VirtualBox 5.x. And these two are pretty significant as VirtualBox after 5.x in general has trouble with Windows XP and video drivers, as a lot of people have come to discover. 6.1 can't even do it, and then 6.0 is the last one that can, but it's kind of a mess. While VMware Workstation actually works wonderful, and it's much faster and really quite an amazing experience for most of what you're going to do. Well, hardware can be a bit of a wild card on ReactOS. One of the most prominent examples of that being the case is with video cards. We can use Windows XP drivers as we are targeting NT 5.x. As long as you use drivers that are meant for that era, it'll work, in theory. A lot of the time, they have different quirks, as ATI, for example, can't even be used with modern drivers, or else you don't get to see the screen very well. Or using something along the lines of older NVIDIA cards that allow older drivers to work. You can get full desktop working, but you won't have decent OpenGL speeds. In fact, it'll be almost nothing, like it's being limited, almost faster to use software rendering most of the time. Then Intel cards I've never actually seen a successful story of one working. Although we're limited in what we can use driver-wise, there is a way for us to get around some of these issues. For ATI cards, the situation's a little better, as OpenGL works when we use the DirectX stack from Windows itself. Targeting Windows 2003 has the benefit, you could say, of being able to use some of its drivers inside of ReactOS. If you have a valid Windows 2003 install, you can actually copy and move over drivers and components to some extent from Windows 2003 into ReactOS. In the community, we often talk about this and refer to it as Franken-ross, but what was mostly happening here is the Win32 subsystem being copied over, which is Win32k, WinServe, User32, and GDI32. This combination allows you to use the Win32 subsystem from Windows, right? Well, this allows us to do quite a few things. For example, this alone actually fixes modern video drivers for ATI cards. Using the driver 14.4, we can see that after using the Win32 subsystem, we can see everything just fine. This isn't without bugs, obviously, as ReactOS is not Windows, and so there's going to be some differences, of course. For example, opening more than a couple apps in one session can lead to some problems, and although more applications will work better like this, there are also many tasks that you just can't do with the OS with it like this. But what we're doing today is showing off 3D acceleration as replacing the Win32 subsystem and then copying over parts of DirectX and then using parts of ReactX, which was at one point in development as our true native DirectX implementation a long time ago. We can get around the 3D acceleration issues and many of the video driver issues, as quite a few video drivers open up using this combination of files from Windows 2003, as you can see here. As it turns out, this obviously is a massive improvement over just using virtual machines graphics or using just software rendering in general. Although this isn't exactly a new thing, I believe it's important to see it visibly of this is something you can quite do yourself with a valid Windows 2003 install, and I just hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, our next thing we're testing is this particles We can press button to create color, and color will change things. You can press many button to create many color. Wow, DirectX 7, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it's running at pretty decent frame rates, actually. And, yeah. Wow. Where are we? Oh, wait, we can go around it. Oh, wow. Now you're going to get up and close and personal with the color. Although this camera's not the best, so it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, that's D3DX particle. Could move to another one. Click on that. Try Tentacle. Give it a minute. Alright. It's gonna freeze for a second with the assert as I'm using debug builds of all the DirectX libraries. Alright. There we go. So this thing is pretty interesting. I think I can get closer to it, can't I? Rotate left, rotate pitch. That's fine. This is giant tentacle. Wow. Wow. Ooh. Ooh. I don't know what else to say about it. Alright.